Brighton are a decent club in England. Uh, they are doing well for the last few seasons, but let's not overrate this club. Even youngsters in England don't see Brighton as the final destination. They appreciate the fact that Brighton will give them the opportunity to showcase their talent, their skill set, and hopefully by playing well for Brighton, other bigger clubs can come in. And Brighton gains by demanding a substantial amount of money for their players. That's a fair trade, in my opinion. This nonsense that is being pushed by the media, the mainstream, and some of the opposition fans are, oh, Caicedo should have done better. He should have demanded transfer request the way he did it. I understand that part of the conversation, but there's another part of the conversation we do not want to talk about. There's a possibility Caicedo and his new agent have explored a civil way of finding an amicable solution to this issue. But Brighton might remain adamant and stubborn. So what do you expect them to do? There's this virtual signaling by most fans and in the media that civility always gets its desired result. Not all the time. There's a reason why nations have military and weaponry. Because they know civility most of the time do not get you desired results. I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just giving an example. I do not support what Caicedo did by going public, giving a public transfer request. I don't support that. At the same time, I understand why he might be forced to do so. Like I said, there are only a few clubs on earth that most players see as final destination. Real Madrid, Barcelona, for most South American players, African players, even European players. Then outside those two, then if you're an Italian player, you see Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. But most African players, South American players, Latin players, they see Real Madrid and Barcelona as the apex. Then when you come to England, English players say Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal now, Chelsea has entered the fray, Man City as final destination. But universally, we can all admit that Real Madrid, Barcelona are top of the field chain. So when players go to Brighton, it's not because they love Brighton or they've been praying all their heart that they want to play for Brighton. They see it as an opportunity to showcase their talent and get a move to a bigger club. And in return, Brighton understand that they can get a healthy transfer fee, which can help them to develop their club, sign more better players, have more money in the bank. So it's a fair trade to me. For me, that is a fair trade. But Brighton have become a bit greedy. Let's look at their last. They've made so much money from this from transferring their players. We can talk about Cucurella, Ben White. That's to mention a few. I can't remember the rest in my head right now, but most of you understand the kinds of money Brighton have made, and that's a fair trade. Now, Caicedo wants to leave. He might not get this opportunity like this anymore. Let him go. I'm not saying because I'm an Arsenal fan. He might as well choose Chelsea. But when players want to leave, especially when you know that most players are mercenaries, let's be real. The game has evolved and fans need to adapt. Players are not loyal. It's a short career, and I understand it. Fans need to adapt and move accordingly too. Players are not loyal. It's a short career. They want to make more money, win trophies if on alongside it, if possible, and enjoy their lives. There is no loyalty in football, even from clubs to players too. When the player is not playing well, the clubs are in a hurry to sell him, to ditch him. Now, when players are doing well and there's a move, the club are reluctant to sell him, even though they will get substantial profit from those players. So it's a fair trade, in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know why do you disagree with this fair trade. I'm not saying this because I want Caicedo to come to Arsenal. I'm just saying it that we need to apply logic and rationality to these conversations. Not push narratives or propagandas. Not listen to the mainstream shove lies and take away the objectivity of this conversation. Brighton, for me, again, a bit greedy. We know how things how people adjust. Very soon, even though they are the ones that take the risk on these young players, these players with ambitions, agents will begin to insert release clauses into these contracts. Because we know Brighton cannot compete with the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Real Madrid. You can't compete. So the only market that is actually suitable for Brighton is to take a risk on these young players, which they can make a profit later. But when they become extremely greedy, see, there is no way. Let me give you an example. There's no way, right? If the agent of Caicedo inserted a release clause when they were signing him initially, there is no way the release clause would be higher than maximum of 40 million pounds. That's the real. There is no way, because Caicedo was on unknown quantity. They signed for, I think, 5 million pounds. There is no way the release clause there will have been more than 40 to 50 million pounds. But because there's no release clause, Brighton are playing good. They are playing pilot. So Brighton needs to be careful. Do not over egg the pudding. Do not get too greedy. I get it. It's mid-season. You might pay a bit more for replacement. But guess what? You are getting a large chunk of money for a player you bought for 5 million pounds. Don't get too greedy. Do not over egg the pudding. Do not get the agents to get smarter with deals in future for Brighton, because as much as they think they have the power now, the dynamic could change. Brighton are not a big club at this moment. They'll remain a feeder club until they improve in their fortunes in winning trophies and winning the biggest championships. For now, Brighton are not a big club. They're a feeder team to other bigger clubs. Unfortunately, that is what it is. No matter how you dice it or paint it or construct the narrative, Brighton are a feeder club out of 2023. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section. And if you like my content, do me a favor by liking the video. It's very important for the growth of this channel and the algorithm. Make sure you stick a like on the video. And if your notification bells are not turned on, do me a favor, make sure those notification bells are turned on. Subscribe or not subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next conversation.